The woman seen with Hulk Hogan in a secretly recorded sex tape says she didn't know that it was being taped either. In a video deposition for Hogan's civil trial, Heather Cole admitted that she knew her husband set up a camera in their bedroom, but she didn't know that it was used to film her tryst with Hogan. A portion of that video was later posted by Gawker Media, leading to a $100 million lawsuit from Hogan, who claims that his privacy was violated. And Gawker argues that since Hogan spoke publicly about his sex life, the video is newsworthy and therefore protected by the First Amendment. Joining me now is Richard St. Paul, a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, and Dan Schorr, a former prosecutor. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this case has all the makings of a Jerry Springer episode. You have a woman who's described as a raven-haired stunner, her ex-husband now, who's named Bubba the Love Sponge Clem, and Hulk Hogan. But legally, who wins?
Look, it's a balancing test. You're balancing the media's right to know, is it of public interest? Does the public need to know this information versus the right to privacy? Does the public really need to know about Hulk Hogan's sex tape? I don't think so. This isn't like who killed the ambassador in Libya. This isn't necessarily newsworthy. In fact, the former editor of Gawker said, under testimony and on the stand, said, yeah, this wasn't exactly that newsworthy. So I think that when you do the balancing test, the right of privacy prevails here, and so does Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned all their names. You know, some people may find it entertaining, and but legally, what does that mean?
Well, the issue here is sometimes you don't have to know something, but someone has a right to report it. And here, Hulk Hogan was publicly talking about his sex life, so Gawker is saying we could report on it. And I think they clearly could report on it. It's a different question. Could they actually show a videotape that Hulk Hogan says he wasn't aware of when it was being recorded? That's a different issue. And you clear aside all the salacious details here, you have a really important First Amendment issue that could go up in the appeals court.
And could impact other cases down the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. We're going to talk about another case, though. We're going to move on from that one. The murder trial of a former Colorado Sheriff's deputy. We've seen this video. It's now underway. The prosecution claims that Tom Follis shot and killed his wife back in 2012 when tempers flared between the two. His defense painting a different picture, describing Ashley Follis as a pressure cooker who ultimately took her own life. So in this case, it comes down to personalities.
You got to follow the facts in this case. And when you're looking at the case, like, first of all, second-degree murder means that it wasn't intentional, that there were some aggravating circumstances, mitigating circumstances. What the prosecution is saying, he was mad, he was upset at his wife because allegedly the family gave her marijuana, and so he killed her. Doesn't exactly make for a good motive. Even though prosecution doesn't have to prove motives, it doesn't exactly, for a jury's perspective, why did this guy kill his wife? Because she had marijuana? It's not good. And then on the defense side, you're talking about what is happening is that she wrote a suicide note in 2011. Her son had 10 brain surgeries, and she was suffering from depression. So you got to weigh those two and follow the facts on that case.
So he's angry, and she's depressed.
Right, and they were fighting right before this incident, so we know
witnessed by family members.
Right, so there's definitely, and the defense doesn't deny that, and there was one gunshot wound to the deceased wife who died, obviously, from it. So now the question is, who fired the shot? Did she, after a fight, just decide to kill herself with her children nearby, or did he kill her? Both scenarios are very disturbing, but one of those two things happened. What's unusual here is a lot of times you'll see the defense accuse police of covering up evidence. Here, the family of the victim is actually accusing the police of covering up evidence to help the defendant because he used to be a corrections officer. So there are some twists to this that are different from other cases.
And the family has even filed a lawsuit against the chief of police in that town in Colorado. The other interesting thing is the forensic evidence will really have to define what's happening in this case, because one of the things the prosecution said is that there was a gunshot to the back of the head.
So we'll see what that shows.
Right. That's usually not self-inflicted.
Thank you both for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank
you so much.